Imagine, a crime is committed against you. The police want you to come in for a lineup to identify the perp. You tell them you're 100% sure with your ID. Case closed, right? Wrong. There is increasing evidence to show that false eyewitness identification is the leading cause of false convictions. In 2003, Wells and Orson said that the criminal justice system has been known to rely heavily on eyewitness identification for prosecuting and investigating crimes. Since DNA exoneration has come about, many people are freed who have previously been convicted based on false eyewitness identification. Psychologists then decided to publish research articles to show the cons and problems of eyewitness identification. Many factors can lead to the inaccuracy of eyewitness identification. Characteristics of witness. Females are more likely to attempt an identification. However, males and females' abilities in eyewitness identification do not differ significantly. Very young children and elderly perform significantly worse than young adults. Intelligence does not truly make a difference when it comes to identification. People better recognize their own race than people of a different race. Characteristics of the event. When the time of the crime is brightly lit, it is easier to make the identification later. If there is a presence of a weapon, the victim is more likely to make a true identification. Faces that are deemed attractive are also easier to accurately remember. Disguises such as sunglasses or hoods impair eyewitness identification. Characteristics of testimony. The bulk of research has focused on the certainty of the eyewitness. Poor witnessing conditions can result in inaccuracy. Most recent work shows that asking the eyewitness to reflect on the witnessing and identification conditions can improve the relationship between accuracy and certainty. Witnesses who make correct identifications from a lineup identify the correct perp faster than witnesses who make wrong IDs. In 1998, Wells et al. Published an article discussing the 1996 conference where the APLS and Division 41 of the APA started a committee to review all of the evidence of false eyewitness identification. They decided to make a list of recommendations to increase the accuracy of eyewitness identification. Some of the recommendations include removal without replacement. Witnesses are shown photos where the culprit is there, then the rate of identification is recorded. Then other witnesses are shown the same lineup without the culprit. Accuracy of none of the above should match accuracy of the identification. Telling the witness the culprit might not be present increases the accuracy of identification. Witnesses who view photos one at a time have a higher chance of the correct identification. Who conducts the lineup? Person who conducts the lineup should not be aware of which member of the lineup or photo spread is the suspect. The suspect should not stand out in the lineup, and witnesses should be confident at the time of the identification. The benefits of the recommendations. Protecting innocent suspects is one of the most important recommendations for conducting a good lineup. This also can increase the credibility of the legal system. High credibility means the citizens can trust the legal system more. The accuracy of the eyewitness identification can lessen the need for expert testimony by eyewitness scientists. Eyewitness scientists focus on procedures for the lineup or photo spread administration used for obtaining eyewitness evidence. Wells et al. Also discussed the problems for conducting a good lineup. Unique descriptions. Finding 5 to 8 people who all have unique descriptions for when the witness describes only a scar or a specific tattoo can be hard for police agencies. Having more than one eyewitness can result in different descriptions of the suspect, making it harder to hone in on the actual perp. No specific number of lineup members is recommended. An innocent suspect can stand out in a lineup of 6 people, 10 people, or 20 people just as easily. A clear statement with no bias or pressure from the lineup conductor should be taken at the time of identification. The press for time can hinder ethical procedures used by the police. More research is needed to dramatically increase the accuracy of eyewitness identification. False eyewitness identification can result in false convictions, as juries rely heavily on eyewitness testimony and ID to make a decision to convict. Police agencies should follow the APLS and Division 41 of the APA's recommendations in order to avoid overturned convictions and appeals.